Send out their punter.
Deontay Hardy deep for New Orleans.
This is taken around the 12. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10.
Now here come the Saints, about to begin their first possession. And the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
It was terrible to see Jameis Winston suffer his torn ACL last season because he had the Saints rolling in his first year running the show in New Orleans. They went 5-2 in his starts, and they were just 4-6 after he was injured. And how about this? He only threw 3 interceptions, really addressing the big concern people had from his time as a starter in Tampa. New Orleans, they plan to roll with him for a second season and hope that last year's performance will carry over in a full season.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big 3rd down.
And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. "56 yards the punt that time, 12 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Cousins. His throw incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Pushes him over. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Cousins again.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
K.J. Osborne with the first down grab in the Minnesota Vikings organization. They're all eager to see exactly what they have in him because he came out of nowhere in 2021 with 50 catches and 7 touchdowns after not catching a pass as a rookie in 2020. He certainly earned a chance to be in the team's top 3, and they want to see if he can build on those numbers from 2021.
Cook on the first down carry there as he works his way forward for a gain of about 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Throwing is Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Now Cousins. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Cousins. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Adam Thielen. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Cousins to throw it. And his throw is incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 23.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Winston. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by one score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns out his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara up past the 30. 2nd down coming up.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This taken in at the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Play action now. Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. But just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
We're going.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for third. Here's Cousins. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up fourth.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their third drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. On the return, Hardy. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On third down, Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. It's tipped, but it doesn't matter. He still catches it.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Again, it's Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches.
To throw, Winston.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room.
Following the interception, Cousins. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. So the completion good for just 3, and that will bring up 2nd down. Now Cousins.
Throw caught there by Osborne.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Final play of the half. Cousins over the middle, complete. It's Osborne. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So we've hit halftime. Just
getting through the break at record pace and right back to football. Third quarter, here we go.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter.
Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Throwing again on second down. Winston. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Ready?
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Now on 2nd and 13. Winston. And Jameis intercepted a third time. The 20. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So that a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the third quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you could lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fields it right around the goal line.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Saints again ready to go on offense.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is caught downfield by Thomas. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Winston. And they'll go right back to Landry. It's complete again. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. To the air again with Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. And quickly they get to the line. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Winston. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. To throw is Winston. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Third and goal, Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Adam Troutman, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Lutz good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Cousins now from the 50. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are right back in this football game. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Osborne. And some room to work. Touchdown, Vikings. K.J. Osborne, 68 yards. And the Vikings use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Winston to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. 4th down, Winston. Looking long for Thomas. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Here's Cook again. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
So it's a win for the Vikings, and it was Kirk Cousins, the veteran, who really led the way.
Yeah, the numbers don't jump off the page, but he was a steady influence